Hi, I'm Koloskov from Photigy.com. Today we'll be talking about this new cool camera, Sony A7 Mark II, which I just received it, and I want to show you some features about that steady shot sensor stabilization which is inside, thing which was introduced in Sony A7 Mark II camera. First time, I think, for Sony, right? And if you think that we are going to do unboxing now, you are wrong. I'm not going to waste your time. Really, I'm not sure what this idea of unboxing is. So we'll get straight to comparing these two cameras, Sony Alpha and Sony A7 and A7 II, and this new lens, 70-100 millimeters. Sony lens with optical stabilization, OSS lens. Okay. The idea is to find out, the idea of this test is to find out how that steady shot sensors, 5-axis steady shot, is comparing to optical stabilization, how it works, okay? Is it superior or just like will be extending the range of, that stabilization, or it will be replacing it? We'll see. So, first let's look at these cameras. This is old one, this is new one. And I was surprised actually that to find out that a new camera is quite different body. It has quite different body. It's larger. You see how thinner this and this is thicker. Different controls. There is much more buttons on top. Those custom, well, it's not like much more. It's one more custom button, but ergonomics of new camera is way better, at least for me. It's larger. The grip is larger, so it's much easier to hold it with your hand. Let me do this. Let me get much closer so you will see what I'm talking about here, okay? So you see, these controls, comparing to old camera controls, which is on top, this is better. It's much easier to reach with your hand when you shoot, everything on top, these custom buttons, than to reach here, at least for me. And here, custom buttons on the old camera is here. Also, it's larger over here. It's much easier to hold it, okay? And this is just really small one. So, it's great. Good job, Sony, on making camera actually bigger. Because, for example, with lens like this, smaller camera, it's not gonna work well. It's just too small to hold it, to balance it. So it's good. I like the new way of making those mirrorless DSLR. It's a little bit larger, actually. So people like me with large palm can enjoy it more. Okay? Now, steady shot. Let me do this. I can connect this camera, the new A7 Mark II, using HDMI output, connect it to the output screen, and you'll see through the camera. That's kind of cool, right? So you can kind of judge yourself shaking and stuff like this. So let's do first test. This is a prime lens, okay? Prime lens, Sony 35mm f2.5, 2.8 lens. No optical stabilization in this lens. Only steady shot is there. Let's go and see if it's on or off. Okay, where is steady shot? Steady shot is on, okay? So it's on, it's good. And steady shot settings, it's auto, because you can do manual on the lenses which probably won't be recognized by Sony, but auto is okay. So now what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to shake myself like I'm a shaky guy, and then I'll be half pressing the shutter release button, to see if it makes any difference, because this is where that steady shot will engage, okay? So let's do. I'll start from very small shaking, like ooh, no stabilization, and now I'm going to press it. I pressed and do the same again. You see, it's better. This is without stabilization. This is with. When I do more, right? This is kind of crazy trembling. It's not really shaking. It's just delirium tremens going on here. And this is a high press button. It helps. You see, it's kind of jerky, but it's not really shaking. And this is without. So without, with, without, with. Okay. Maybe a little bit more shaking. Okay, it's gone. Again, this is our shaky hand, and I'm doing the same. You see the cord is shaking, right? But the camera is not. This is with, without, and with. Yeah, just follow this little finger. Without, with, without, with, without, with. Cool, right? So it works. It works relatively well, especially on the lenses without any optical stabilization. Now let's try a big one, big boy, 70-200 f4.0 from Sony. And the lens has OSS, meaning the optical stabilization on board. Okay, and for this lens, I have a different target, a little bit far away. I'm going to use it at 200 millimeters on maximum zoom and see how it works. Okay, so let's set a focus first. Okay, here we go. Manual focus. Of course, it doesn't work on manual focus, and I want the single shot type of focus, 200 millimeter lens. Now, let's do this. We have all optical stabilization, everything is on. And I'm doing shaky, my shaky hand. Shaky, 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 and half press. Wow, this is cool, I'm still shaky. Now, let me do this so you will see my finger. Do you see my finger? Like this, right? You see it, okay. So, I'll do my shaky thing. Shaky, 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 and pressing finger. This is cool. This is quite different. Again, shaky, 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 shaky. Nice. Shaky, shaky, shaky. So optical stabilization is really cool thing, right? And if I turn off stabilizer, let's see, will it work? No, unfortunately, there is no way to turn off optical stabilization and still have on the steady shot. You see, steady shot is off and it's disabled. So I cannot turn it on while this lens optical stabilization is off. So we're going to use other camera just to see, just to compare how optical stabilization will work alone without any steady shot. Okay, again, let's do a few more. I'm shaking, 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 releasing, shaking, half pressing, shaking. So it's bulletproof. It's amazing. Now, let's do the same, exactly same test with Sony Alpha 7. Alpha 7, not 2, but just 7. Okay, by the way, they have even HDMI out, rotated different way. I don't know why. Anyway, let's have this lens over here and turn off and on camera just in case. Switch to the view. Already. So, display. Okay, all the thing. So, optical stabilization is on, and there is no steady shot for the sensor here, right? This is Alpha 7. And let me do my shaky hand. Half press. Again, so you'll see my finger, okay? This is without any stabilization. This is with. This is without. This is with. This is without. This is width. Impressive? Quite impressive for me. And what's the conclusion of this test? Well, you make your own, right? This is why I showed you. But my conclusion is this. If the lens has optical stabilization, and this is good lens like 70 to 100 millimeters, that steady shot on the sensor, it's not gonna make a big difference. Maybe it will add some little bit more stabilization, but not much. I didn't see the difference, honestly. Of course, it's subjective. I don't know how much I was trembling on this camera, but I was trying to do the same, and I didn't see much difference. Optical stabilization is superior. It's really cool, and it works on the camera, all the cameras, right? And this steady shot sensor stabilization, well, as it's supposed to be, it will shine on lenses like this one, right? On the prime lenses, which is lenses which do not have, this is right English, right? Optical stabilization. And in this case, especially if lenses will be a little bit longer than this 35 millimeters, it may help a lot. You know, let me do this. Let me grab 24-70 millimeters Canon lens and put it here through the adapter. Put it on Mark II Sony Alpha 7, and we will see how it will work with and without stabilization. Let's do this. 1 second. Already, I'm back. So 24-70 Canon, and I'm going to use this Photodiox adapter, which supports autofocus and other features. And there is a review on Photigy gear page, photigy.com/gear, about this adapter. If you're interested in using Canon lenses, and not only Canon, any Nikon and other lenses on the Sony cameras, so you can check it. Camera view again, 70 millimeters, autofocus is on. And what we're going to do, we're going to, steady shot is on, okay, nice. What about settings? It's auto, we put it on manual, and let's put it on 70 millimeters, because camera may not recognize this lens properly, so we need to make sure that our steady shot knows that this is 70 millimeter focal length. Okay, now let's focus on our holiday sail. This is how it works with adapter, kind of slow, but it works. Now I'm shaking, and then, okay, it's too much. Let's do this. Let's put on manual focus, okay? And shaking, hop. Now its steady shot is engaged. And I'm releasing my finger. Okay, shaking, then gonna press. I pressed. You see, shaking again, pressing, no stabilization, with stabilization, no stabilization, with stabilization. Kind of cool. Not as much as you can expect from optical stabilization lens, right? But still pretty impressive. Nice. And without steady shot, well, you just seen how it works without. This is how shaky it is. And there is no way to do anything because its steady shot is off. Alrighty. So you've seen everything, and great. Congratulations, Sony, for doing good job on this kind of new things. It's not really new, right? It was other cameras, but not on 5-axis stabilization on the sensors, on a sensor. And also, it probably was not as good as this one, because it's pretty good. It's not as good as optical, but still. Okay, if you like this video, please share it and like it. And if you have any comments, any questions, any suggestions maybe for me, please post them on the comment area. I'll be glad to answer anything. And well, I hope to see you on Photigy, and don't forget to subscribe to Photigy channel. More new videos coming soon. Bye.